Ladies and gentlemen, this is a follower-submitted story. Let's dive into it. Wait, it's even better. It's a follower-submitted cake story. Oh yeah. Title of this one is, Am I the Astronaut for Shoving Cake in My Wife's Face? Hey, Dusty, Candy, and crew. I think that I am probably the asshole here, but I thought I would ask you and find out where exactly on the ASCON scale I rank. Well, I appreciate the candor. I, 26 male, married my wife, Kay, 24 female, this weekend. We have been together since our freshman year of college and are very much in love. And I had been planning every aspect of our wedding for over a year, and it was beautiful. Two of her big focuses and big expenses were her dress and her hair and makeup. She takes a lot of pride in her appearance and always makes sure her makeup is flawless. I love her with or without makeup, and I always tell her that she doesn't need any of it to look beautiful. When we were discussing the wedding events, we started talking about some of the traditional wedding events like cutting of the cake. She only had one rule: do not shove cake in her face and ruin her makeup, and don't get cake on her dress. Got it. The wedding went off without a hitch, and it was great. I'll admit, the cocktail hour before the wedding might have gotten a little out of hand, and I was feeling pretty good by the time we got to the reception. By the time we went to cut the cake, I might have been fairly drunk. We were cutting the cake, taking photos. She fed me cake. I fed her a small piece. All was fine. Then some of my college buddies started egging me on, saying, "Smash the cake! Smash the cake!" So I took a big frosting-filled piece and shoved it all over my wife's face. Rut-row, Raggy. Like, oh no, Scoob, like you've really f***ed up now. She let out a shocked yell, but held it together relatively well in front of the guests. I knew immediately that I f***ed up. Not only did I smash it all over her face, but it fell onto her dress and got frosting all over it. And in case you were wondering, the color of the frosting was red. She quickly went off with her maid of honor and a couple of bridesmaids to the bathroom to get cleaned up. My buddies were all telling me how funny it was, but I knew I was in trouble. She came back from the bathroom and put on a smile for the rest of the reception, but didn't talk to me at all. Once it was over, we went up to our room and she gave me quite the tongue lashing, and not in the good way. That was in the document. I didn't say "and not in the good way." That's in the doc. That was OP. I mean, I would have said it if they didn't say it, but still, they beat me to the punch. The tongue punch. They beat me to the tongue punch. She was berating me and screaming at me for ruining her makeup, getting red frosting all over her dress, and how she couldn't believe I broke her one wedding rule. She kicked me out of the room, and I had to go stay the night in my best man's room. She's hardly talked to me since and won't even listen to me when I apologize. I brought her flowers every day, cooked dinners, and I even took her dress to the cleaners and got the frosting taken care of, and nothing is getting through. I know I'm the asshole here, but am I on a one-way ticket to ASCON 1? How can I fix this or make it up to her? Help me out, Dusty. Oh boy. You know, at least you acknowledge that you fudged up real hard. And yes, you are on a one-way ticket to ASCON 1. It was a real, you know what? I actually don't think it's a 1. You didn't do this with malicious intent. Your jabroni bronies egged you on to do it, but you broke the one rule. So it's an ASCON 1. I don't think it's a one-way ticket. It is an ASCON 1. I will give you this. It is an ASCON 1. I do think it's something that you can come back from. Look, like, marriage is hard, right? And I think one of the most important lessons that you learn in marriage, especially during year 1, is that your partner isn't perfect. Except for me, mine is. But everybody else, the rest of the world, your partner's not perfect. So you have to learn that. And in this case, if you had done it and not apologized for it and not tried to grovel and make up for it, then that would be one thing. The fact that you are doing all those things and you knew you screwed up, you ought to be pissed at your bronies here. And I would talk to them and be like, hey, I need you all to help me out getting out of trouble, because you all certainly had a hand in getting me in trouble. And yes, it's your fault because you should have been like, no, and known better. But you went frat party mode and decided to go through with it anyway. So I would enlist their help. You've got to keep it up. Keep it up. Keep freaking just groveling and doing what you can to get back in her good graces. I feel like eventually she might forgive you, but it was the one rule, right? So now there's a trust. Trust has been broken. You spent your wedding night apart because of it. So it's just a matter of how much pain is she willing to dish out for this punishment. As long as you stay focused on fixing things, I think you'll end up being okay in the long run. It was a huge F up, but you know that it was a huge F up. Do not give up on fixing this. I don't know if this is a test and it is one of those like, I'm going to see if he gives up, or I'm going to see if he stays focused on fixing this. And it's just, It's just a game of how long this takes. It could be a David Rose kind of situation here, where if you start delivering daily gifts, it's a matter of she really likes receiving the gifts, and then it's a matter of she's forgiven you a week ago, but you're delivering gifts, so she's gonna keep getting the gifts there. Stay solution focused. Do not give up. This is not a one-way ticket. You can come back from this. You can. Excuse. Don't is a complete sentence. Agreed. Oh, you know what? But the fact that she has not filed for an annulment already, the fact that she has not initiated a divorce already means that there is some coming back from this. And if there's not, there's not, and there's nothing that he can do. But if the goal is to save this, then do not give up on trying to save this. You understand the magnitude of the F up here. So the magnitude of your making up for it needs to be at least double. But do not be surprised if this ends up getting annulled and you've just completely nuked your entire brand new marriage. Don't be surprised.